Hello and welcome to another video. It's somehow already December. I can't believe we're at the end of the year, but here we are. So it's time to do my monthly TBR, and very exciting news for me. I am absolutely going to be hitting my goal of reaching 200 books read this year. As of right now, I've read 190. I only need to read 10 books before the end of the year to hit that goal, which is crazy. I've never in my life read so many books in one year. I don't know what happened this year, but I'm not mad about it. Having a great time. Will I do it again next year? We'll see, honestly. I've been really in the mood for TV shows and movies lately, so I might end up spending more time doing that in the new year as well. Who knows? I'm having a good time either way, whether it's reading or watching stuff. But regardless, here is the TBR for December. I'll start with my book clubs and challenge reads for this month, which there are actually less than usual. The in-person book club that I'm part of, we are not going to be meeting this month because it's the holiday season. Everyone's busy, so we're just going to meet back up in January instead. But Cozy Quill, which is an online book club that I'm part of, this month we're going to be reading Brigands and Breadknives by Travis Baldree, the third book in the Legends and Lattes series. I've loved the first two books so much, and I can't wait to get to book 3. I've been wanting to read it since the moment that it was released, but I knew that Cozy Quill was reading it for December, so I've been waiting for now, and it's finally here, so I can finally get my hands on this book at long last. I have absolutely no idea what the plot of this one is. I didn't even bother reading the synopsis. I gotta go into it fully blind. The buzzword challenge this month is to have alliteration in the title, so I think I'm going to go with Truth Telling by Michelle Good. I do have a whole bunch of options for this prompt, so I might swap it out later in the month depending on my mood, but as of right now, this one is what I'm in the mood for. This one is non-fiction, and it's 7 conversations about Indigenous life in Canada, and the back says it's a bold, provocative collection of essays exploring the historical and contemporary Indigenous experience in Canada. I think it's so important for everyone, but especially white people, to read from voices of both historical and contemporary Indigenous people in whatever country that you're from, which is something that I don't do often enough, but I do want to reconcile that. So I've been working on gathering a collection of Indigenous reads to kind of pick away at whenever I'm in the mood for nonfiction, and this one is the most recent one that I've acquired. And then the buzzword covers challenge is a monochromatic cover. Again, I've got a couple of options, but I think I'm going to be going with To Be Taught a Fortunate by Becky. I love this author so much, and I'm mad at myself that I haven't gotten to this book yet. I actually started it a while ago, but I think I was reading it, what was I doing? I was on the bus, and the bus was super loud. There was somebody talking behind me, so I just couldn't focus. So I put it down with the intention of picking it back up when I got home, and then just didn't do that, and now here we are, like however long later, and I still haven't picked this book back up. Also a very short book. This will not take me much time to read at all. I love this author's writing so much, and I've heard amazing things about this book. Apparently it's a very slice of life story. There's not actually a whole lot of plot going on. I think it's just the one where they're just a bunch of people kind of going to a different planet, and it's their life aboard the ship, I'm pretty sure is what it is. I could be wrong, but from what I'm briefly skim reading on the back, I'm pretty sure that's what this one is about, which sounds fantastic to me. Moving on to my library holds that should be coming in over the course of the next month. A couple of these might not be here this month. I'm just kind of being hopeful that the people who currently have it out will finish them faster. But the first one, which I should for sure get to this month, is Our Share of Night. This one I've had suspended for like 3 or 4 weeks now because I'm just so intimidated by this book because it's massive. It's like a 27-hour long audiobook, and I just have not been in the mood to commit to that. I've been exhausted lately, so I've been more so in the mood for like quick, snappy things that are both quick to get through but also kind of easier on the brain, and neither of those things describes this book, but it sounds so good, and I've heard nothing but incredible things about it, so I do really want to get to it, but I'm just so tired and I'm struggling with focus lately. But hopefully this month I will actually get to this one. Fingers crossed. Wish me luck on this very long endeavor. Day in the Light by A.M. Shine should be coming to my Libby in the next couple of weeks. This one is the sequel to The Watchers, which I read for an episode of Page to Screen. I'll link that down below if you want to check out that episode. And while book 1 was not fantastic, it did end in a way that made me curious to see where book 2 would go, and it did have potential that I would like to see if it improved on the issues that I had with book 1. Hot Girls with Balls is a book that I previously DNF'd, but I DNF'd it because of the format of it. I was trying to read the ebook and it was formatted where it was basically just one big block of text. There were no quotation marks for dialogue, and that was really hard to read, but I am still really interested in this book, so I've had the audiobook on hold for a while, and I'm also going to be reading this book as part of a project vlog that I'm working on right now where I retry books that I previously DNF'd. Our Vicious Descent by Hayley Dennings, I think is the author's name. This one is the sequel to Our Vicious something, I can't think of the name, but it's a sapphic vampire book set in like 1920s New York kind of thing with like mafia, mob boss type of thing. It was great. The first book was really good in concept, but did have some things where it fell short. So I'm also hoping that this second book will improve on some of the things that I didn't like about book one, because the setting of this one is fantastic. It was just mainly kind of the characters that bothered me, I'm pretty sure, but otherwise the plot was good, and again, the setting was so good. It was so atmospheric, and I am really curious to see where the plot goes as well. Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood is one that I was hoping to get to during the Halloween season, but the wait times were just too long for it. But my hold should be coming in the next 4 weeks, so this one might end up being a January one. Synopsis wise, I kind of forget. This is mainly just based on the cover and also the hype. I've seen a bunch of people reading this one, and I wanted to be part of the hype train for it, so I just kind of put it on hold really quickly, and now I've been waiting for it for like 2 months, so I might as well give it a shot, even though I have literally no idea what it's about. But based on the cover, it seems like it's a cute contemporary witchy romance sort of thing, which is totally my jam, and I'm sure I'll love it. Dead and Breakfast, however, is one that I've had on my TBR since long before it was published, and I am so excited about it. This one sounds ridiculous and fun. It's about a couple who own a bed and breakfast, and they are both vampires, and one night, I believe it's the mayor of the town, ends up dead in their garden with puncture wounds in his neck. So of course everyone's going to blame them. So the two of them have to work to find the actual killer and clear their name. It just sounds so silly and campy and so much fun, and I can't wait to get to this one. This one's gonna also be 4 weeks roughly until it arrives, so it might end up being January, but I really want to get to this one like ASAP, so I'm hoping it'll arrive in December so I can read it immediately. I will drop everything else that I'm reading to read this one the moment that it comes into my Libby account. Now this one I'm being very hopeful for, because the audiobook hold says that it's going to be another 6 weeks until it arrives, but that's only if the people who are currently reading it take the full amount of time, so I'm really hoping that it'll arrive sooner than that. But that is What Stalks the Deep by T. Kingfisher. I love the audiobooks for these ones, so I want to tandem read it really badly. So I've been very impatiently waiting for the audiobook hold to come through, and it's so close. It's almost time for me to read this book, and I'm hyped about it. This is the third book in the Sworn Soldier series, the first one being What Moves the Dead, which is one of my favorite horror books of all time, and also one of my favorite authors as well. So I've been extremely hyped for this book, and I am very impatiently waiting for that audiobook to come to me. Now the rest of my reads planned for this month are pretty much entirely holiday romances. I might get sick of them sooner than I think I will, so there's a possibility that I'll only read a handful of these, but I do have a bunch of them on hold. I just finished filming a video where I talk about all of the queer holiday rom-coms on my TBR for this month. I think that video is coming out before this one, so it should already be out. But quickly, at least, the ones that I know for sure I'm going to be reading, because I've already started them, are Deck the Hulls by Cassidy, which is about a small coastal town and a man who is sent there because he's in the witness protection program. But then somebody ends up dying totally by accident, and he is definitely going to be blamed for it, so he tries to dump the body into the ocean by stealing a boat, not knowing that the owner of that boat was also on the ship, and now the two of them are in this mess together. I've already started this one, and it is lovely so far. And then the other one that I've already started is You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince, by somebody whose name I can't think of. And this one follows a spoiled rich brat, basically. He's like in his 20s, but he very much acts like a child, and his parents cut him off financially and sent him to live with his grandparents for a few weeks while his poor choices kind of blow over, and he is kind of voluntold to plan the town's annual holiday festival. This one is also fantastic so far, having a great time with it. And then some other holiday ones that I have on hold currently and should be available in the next few weeks include A Jingle Bell Mingle by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone, as well as A Holly Jolly Ever After, which is part of the same series. I've got those two coming soon, as well as Second Chances in Newport Stephen by TJ Alexander, who's the author of A Gentleman's Gentleman, which I loved, so I can't wait to get to this one. Ooh, actually one that was not on my TBR list, because that TBR was for romances, is Our Winter Monster by Dennis Mahoney. This one is not a romance one, so I didn't include it in that video, but that one's going to be in my Libby in the next 2 weeks. And this one is a holiday horror book, which sounds fantastic. And it's about an unhappy couple running from their problems and straight into the maw of a terrifying beast. Sounds great to me. I love horror book, and I don't think I've ever actually read a Christmas horror book before, so this sounds really fun and I can't wait to get to that one. Other than that, it looks like the rest of the things that I have on hold were all of the romance ones that were part of that TBR video that I'm talking about. So if you want to see which ones those are, go check out that video. I'm being lazy and don't want to reiterate everything that I just said. So yeah, that should do it for the December TBR. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I'm planning on reading this month, and also let me know which books you're planning on reading in December. I would love to hear your thoughts down below. But in the meantime, thanks a bunch for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next video.